Greetings, my peeps, and welcome to the All Things Basketball Podcast with your boy GD. In this episode, I'll continue breaking down the starters, this time in the Western Conference, all the starters there, and of course, I will give you my predictions for the reserves in the Western Conference All-Star Games. So, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, guys, so we talked in the last episode about the East starters and my predictions for the reserves for the All-Star Game. So let's hit the West, shall we? Let's deal with the West. So, all right, so let's talk about the starters first. For the front court, LeBron James, and of course he's the leading vote getter. No surprise there. So he will once again be the captain of the West. Along with in the front court, Nikola Jokic, the Joker, of course, for Denver. And surprise, Zion Williamson, guys. Zion Williamson squeezes out Anthony Davis to make the front court of the All-Stars. So, as a starter. So, you know, a lot of people want to moan and groan and carry on about that. And again, the last 3 weeks I was giving you the fan breakdown, but it's really 50% fan vote, 25% player vote, and 25% media votes. So, and the numbers bear out for Zion Williamson. I say, the fans speak. That's it. Players as well and media, but to a lesser extent. So. This is who they want. How can I argue with the fan base? So he's the starter, and that's all there is to it. Well, I'd like to have seen a Lauri Markkanen make it, being that it's going to be in Salt Lake City, sure. Or even a Sabonis who's averaging pretty much nearly a triple double, sure. But this is how it shakes out, guys. So, it is what it is. But, again, kind of like the case with Kevin Durant, we have to see where Zion at as far as his health. So, this could all be for naught if he can't go. So, if that's the case, my perfect scenario, if Zion can't go, I have no qualms with making Lauri Markkanen the starter, being that, again, the game is in Utah, so I would have no issue with that. So, all right, so that's your front court. Back court, pretty much, I told you, was slam dunk from day one, guys. Steph Curry and Luka Doncic. So, that's, no arguments there. Those are the guys. So, that's your starters. So, with that said, let us talk about reserves and all the worthy candidates. And I'll do it like I did in the East. I'll give you, like, the players, in terms of the team rankings, more or less. It may vary a bit. It was more so streamlined in the East. Might not be so here in the West. So I'll give you the players. All right, so let's start with the top team in the West, the Denver Nuggets. You got the Joker there. How about Jamal Murray, guys? Jamal Murray, who's come all the way back from that torn ACL. This is what he's doing, guys. Over 19 points per game, 5.7 assists, and over 4 rebounds. Shooting it 45.3% from the field, 38.5% from 3, and 82.6% from the free throw line. Jamal Murray is having a very good year. And he's having a good year for the top team in the West. There's a lot to be said for that. So, does he have a case? He has a case. Is it a strong case? Maybe not so much, but definitely has a case that's worth at least stating. So, So we'll start there. Let's move to the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, everything begins and ends with Ja Morant. So Ja Morant averaging 27.3 points per game, 8 assists, 5.5 rebounds. Shooting from the field, 46.5%. Nearly 32% from three. That's not really his forte. And 74.3 from the charity stripes. So Ja Morant, one of the most exciting players in the game right now. You would definitely have to say a shoe-in to be a reserve for the All-Star game. So with that said, let's move to the Kings. The Sacramento Kings, guys, who are third in the West, believe it or not. Got two guys here. Domantas Sabonis. I've been singing his praises. 18.4 points per game. 12.4 rebounds. That leads the league, by the way. 7.3 assists as well. Shooting it, and get this, shooting it 60.6% from the field, 75.3% from the free throw line. It would be an absolute crime if this man is not in the All-Star game. He deserves it. The numbers bear out for him. And he's doing it, by the way, with an injured thumb. So, Domantas Sabonis getting it done. And his teammate, De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is having another fantastic year, guys. He's been healthy. Scoring nearly 24 points per game, over 6 assists, guys, and also 4.3 rebounds. And for a guard, he's shooting nearly 51% from the field. Fantastic. 33.3% from three, and 78.5% from the free throw line. It would be an absolute crime to exclude De'Aaron Fox from the All-Star game. He's having a fantastic year, guys. He's had one in the past, but now he's doing it with a winning ball club behind Mike Brown, their coach. So he's got to get his due, guys. So I think this could be the year. So we'll see what happens there. CJ McCollum, you know, guys, I've been talking about him endlessly. Over 21 points per game, nearly 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds. Shooting at 43% from the field. You know, I mean, he has to, because most nights he's the only show in town because Zion was hurt. Then you had Brandon Ingram, who was hurting as well. Nearly 39% from three. He's been proficient there. And over 78% from the free throw line. I think this is probably the strongest case that CJ McCollum has for being an all-star in all his years in the NBA. You know, he played alongside Dame, so Dame kind of takes that shine away from you. But here, guys, he's been pretty much, you know, bearing the load while Ingram was out, and now Zion as well. So I think this could be the year, guys. He has a strong case once again, and probably as strong as of his career. So we'll have to bear that out and see. Let's talk about some Clippers. Paul George. Paul George, he's played in 35 games, so he's missed some games, guys. That's for sure, especially with that hamstring. 23.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and a steal and a half per game. 46.7% from the field. Over 39% from three, and 88.6% from the free throw line. Paul George, playing like an all-star. What more can you say? And for that Clippers club that a lot of people deem is championship ready. So Paul George getting it done. Now Kawhi Leonard, he hasn't played a lot of games, guys, but I I say he doesn't have as strong a case. He's looking better as the season goes on. But initially, he's missed maybe about a month or so in the season. Actually, 2 months. He played in that opener and then he was shut down for a while. So I don't think he gets in. I don't think Kawhi gets in because of the missed games and so forth. So, but he's starting to come around to being the old Kawhi. But I think he doesn't make the cut. Let's then talk about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. 25.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists. So, and also 1.7 steals. Shooting it nearly 46% from the field, 36.8 from 3, and nearly 78 from the free throw line. Anthony Edwards, another guy, when Karl Anthony Towns went down, he became the guy. So he's been doing it for the Timberwolves, keeping them within the playoff hunt, that's for sure. So Anthony Edwards, the numbers are strong, guys, very strong here. So does he get the nod? We'll see. But definitely a strong case there. Let's talk about a couple of Jazz players. One I mentioned already, Lauri Markkanen, with his nearly 25 points per game, 8.7 rebounds for him. Shooting it from the field, with the fact that everybody knows he's the guy, 52% from the field, 43.2% from 3. Remarkable. And over 87% from the free throw line. Lauri Markkanen, who went in that deal for Donovan Mitchell. Markkanen always had the talent, guys. It was always availability. He always was banged up, always got hurt, whether it be with Chicago, whether it be with Cleveland. He would just always get those injuries where he had to miss a lot of time. This year, not so much. So, yeah, I think this is the year that he breaks through and make the All-Star team. So that's my feelings there. His teammate, Jordan Clarkson, another guy, quietly having a terrific year. Remember, Jordan Clarkson was usually your sixth man, so he was always in the running for Sixth Man of the Year awards and so forth. But he's been a starter all year, guys. 21 points per game, 4.3 assists, and nearly 4 rebounds. Shooting it over 45% from the field, shooting it 35% from 3, and 82.3% from the free throw line. He's had a solid year, guys. Is it All-Star reserve worthy? I don't know. He'll have a tough time pushing out some of these other guys, but he has a case. I'd be remiss not to say that the man has a case. So that's the deal with Clarkson. Jordan Poole. I know people are going to think I'm nuts, but hear me out. Jordan Poole for the Golden State Warriors. You would think I'd say Klay Thompson, but he's missed a lot of time with they're managing that knee, make sure, he doesn't play back-to-backs and so forth. But Jordan Poole has played just about every game. 21.2 points per game, 4.4 assists, and nearly 3 rebounds for him. Shooting it nearly 44% from the field, over 32% from 3. That could be better. And 87% from the free throw line. Jordan Poole, does he have a case? Might be a flimsy case, but he has a case nonetheless. He's been available for the most part, and in those times where Steph was missing from the lineup, or even Klay, he stepped up to the plate. He just secured his bag, so he's going to be in Golden State for a while. So Jordan Poole, climbing up the ladder. Probably not this year, but look out in years to come. Jordan Poole is on the come, guys, so bear that in mind. To OKC we go. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. When I tell you somebody's having a fantastic year, this kid is. Nearly 31 points per game, 5.6 assists, nearly 5 rebounds, 1.7 steals, and over 1 block per game for him. And with him being the guy over there, he's shooting over 51% from the field, over 36% from 3, and well over 90% from the free throw line. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. Again, fantastic season. But again, like marketing, the problem with him was always availability. This year, he's been available for the most part. He's missed some games here and there, but nothing to be alarmed about. But he's putting up fantastic numbers. So you'll be hard-pressed not to have him as a reserve this year. Of course, Dame Lillard. Let's talk about a few Blazers, in fact. Dame Lillard, over 30 points per game, 7.4 assists, 4 rebounds for him. Shooting at 46.2% from the field, 37.3% from the three-point line, and over 90% from the field. Dame Lillard, now healthy. You know, last year he had the abdominal issues there. So he's back. He's healthy for the most part. He missed some games early on, but he's back nonetheless and playing like an all-star. His backcourt mate, Anthony Simons, who I call CJ McCollum 2.0, nearly 22 points per game, 4 assists, close to 3 rebounds per game, shooting at 44.4% from the field, 37.4% from 3, and he's shooting 90% from the free throw line. So you have 2 backcourt guys shooting 90% or better. Again, I think he suffers from the CJ McCollum syndrome, where he's playing next to this perennial all-world guard. So I think he gets kind of swallowed up in that. So strong case, but I don't think strong enough. So I think he's on the outside looking in. Jeremy Grant, the third Blazer I want to talk about. 21.2 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, almost 2.5 assists per game, shooting it nearly 49% from the field, 42.4 from 3. Wow. And then 79.6% from the free throw line. Jeremy Grant, he's been everything they wanted him to be when they traded him, got him from the Detroit Pistons. So he's been that guy. He's been solid in the front court. So is he an all-star? Yeah, perhaps not, but definitely worth a conversation having as far as Jeremy Grant. If they were higher up in the standings, then I can make probably a stronger case, but yeah, it'll be a tough go for him. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns, it's been a tough year with Devin Booker missing a lot of time, CP3 missing a lot of time, but he's back now, so definitely don't see him making it in. Only person who has a strong case is, believe it or not, DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, 17.5 points per game, over 10 rebounds, and over 2 assists for him. Shooting at 57.2 from the field and over 71% from the free throw line. Numbers don't jump out at you. He is averaging a double-double, which you like to see that. Does he have a case? Outside case, but I don't think a strong enough case. I just think the guard situation is so strong in the West that I think he's on the outside looking in that regard. So I think, he'll probably won't make it. Let's talk about two more players, guys. Keldon Johnson for the Spurs, who's having a very good year. 21.5 points per game, nearly 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. The efficiency, not so great. 43% from the field. That's because they keying in on him. They know who else is going to score the basketball. Over 34% from the three-point range and over 78% from the free throw line. He has a case. Is it a strong case? Probably not, because the Spurs now are amongst the bottom feeders in the West, so definitely don't see that happening for him. And then the last person I'll talk about, Jalen Green for the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets, the worst team in the West, and probably the league for that matter. 21.7 points per game, over 4 rebounds, 3.7 assists for him. Shooting it only over 41% from the field, over 33% from 3, and 78% from the free throw line. Jalen Green, sophomore season, he's looked much better than he did in his freshman campaign, so you'll probably see him in that Friday game with the rookies and sophomores. You'll see him in that, so that's where you probably see him shine at. So, but as far as All-Star, he's on the outside looking in, guys. But I figure I state a case for him nonetheless. So, all right, so that brings us to my predictions for the reserves. So, let us get into it, shall we? So, here's how it shakes out as far as the reserves. I think Ja Morant is a no-brainer. He makes it. I'm going to say this with my chest, guys. 2 Sacramento Kings makes the All-Star team. Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox both make it. Yeah, I'm saying it. I think they both make it. Paul George, I feel, makes it as well for the Clippers. I think he gets in. Larry Markkinen, I already told you guys how I felt about him. He gets in. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, how can you not pick him as an all-star? And the last person, of course, Dame Lillard. So that's your 7 reserves, guys. Now, in the case that Zion can't go, again, my feeling would be move Markkinen up to the starting lineup. Again, it's in Salt Lake City, so it'd definitely be a good look, that's for sure. I mean, you could go Sabonis too, but I would go Markkinen if I had to replace a starter in the front court. So, with that said, you would probably have to pick the injury replacement between these 3 players. It'd be between C.J. McCollum, who, I spoke about, guys, who I think would be the perfect reserve injury replacement if Zion couldn't go, because you at least want to have one Pelican there. That would be nice. That would be apropos. Or you can go Anthony Edwards, or you can go Jamal Murray. Again, the second best player on the top team in the West. So those would be amongst those I would pick among the reserves, and I'd lean towards McCollum. So, all right, guys. So that is it. That is it for this episode. Again, guys, I appreciate you listening and staying with the show. And guys, again, don't be shy. Write a review for me. You can do it right on my website allthingsbasketballwithgd.com. You can do it right over there. My YouTube channel, I'll probably get this listed on the YouTube channel shortly. So go ahead and write those reviews, guys. All right. So once again, I thank you for listening. Always appreciate your listenership and you taking the time to hear me out, even as crazy as I could go sometime. But I thank you for listening, and we'll talk soon, guys. Take care. So, my peeps, if you like what you're listening to, you can go to my website, www.allthingsbasketballwithgd.com. You can also email me at thatsportsdudegd@gmail.com. To support this podcast, you can go to my PayPal, and that email is thatsportsdudegd@gmail.com. Also on my Anchor page, I have a support button there that you can also use to help the podcast. I'm on all the major platforms like Anchor, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Amazon, SoundCloud, YouTube, Castbox, Radio Public, Podchaser, just to name a few. And also you can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Clubhouse, and Fanbase. So once again, I thank you for listening and supporting this podcast, and take care and be safe.